Hey Guru, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Well, first off, congratulations are in order.
Thank you so
Pittsburgh
much.
University, is it for you?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity that you're giving me. It's
Uh-huh.
been it's been great. I think from the time when I received the news. Yeah, it's still living the dream. Yeah.
So
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 yeah.
tell us how was the interview process? What did you anticipate?
So the interview process was one-on-one. So generally it started out with a group discussion where we were
Hmm.
put in a room and we had to interact with a bunch of people.
Hmm.
After the introduction to the school and the program, we could ask questions and to the people who are studying there. And after that, we'd go to the breakout rooms where we'd have one-on-one interview session with one of the faculty members. And
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
was around 20 to 25-minute interview
Hmm.
with the faculty, and they asked, like, just wanted to have a normal
Mm,
conversation with
yeah,
us.
yeah. Hmm.
So they go and they want to know about you more
Yeah.
than what you actually did about dentistry, because they not want to know you as a person rather than as a
Mm,
candidate.
mm.
So that's what I got from the whole experience. And after the whole thing, we went on to some a group discussion where we were asked to give ideas about a particular
Mm, yeah.
scenario. So this is how the whole interview day was, and yeah, that's about it. Uh,
Yeah, so you're right. It's just so important what you said really touched the nerve. It's always that they want to know you who you are as a person and never as a
exactly,
candidate because they have your CV
exactly.
in front of you. I think that's always we impress as well in our interview sessions that we've had with you. It's always like, hey,
Mhm.
put your best foot forward, show them who Guru is, right? They
Yeah,
have the CV, they
exactly.
know your dental work, right? But you know,
Yeah,
show them who you are. But I do understand that these group sessions could be a little tricky sometimes. It's definitely a slippery
yeah,
slope. You have to
yeah,
answer without
exactly.
coming across as a guy who's like just taking up all the
Ex
space. You
Exactly.
know,
So there's a fine line
there's a
where you
fine
can't
line.
step that
Yes.
side where you might come off too strong and they might,
Yeah.
question you of this thing. At the same time, you can't not voice yourself there. So I
Yeah.
think you need to balance. I think everything's about balance.
Yeah. True.
So
True.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And you played that balancing act to perfection because you secured yourself
thank you,
an acceptance.
thank
So that's
you,
really
thank
good.
you for the thank you to the DDS project for all the guidance. I mean, I'm pretty sure like I got like a good amount of useful tricks from you. I mean, practicing from you guys. So I mean, kudos to you guys too.
Yeah. That's great, man. So tell me something about your background. How did you start off your dental school, your GPA, the whole nine yards? Yeah.
So it all started right in school. So I was exposed to a dental setup. So when I was young, probably, so whenever I had the chance, I would go visit, and that's when I was curious. And if I'm not wrong, the first procedure that I saw and was fascinated about was episectomy. And since then I've been working towards dentistry, like like after
Mm.
10th grade I went into biology, and after that I've been working towards my dental school.
Mhm.
And yeah, so after I finalized dentistry, I wanted
Mhm.
to go into Manipal. So I studied from Manipal
Oh,
College of Dental
okay.
Sciences. That was my dream school, and I got in there. So it was a big achievement for me personally. And through those 5 years, I think it's been like a pleasure to, interact with some of the greatest faculty. Uh, and apart from that, I've tried to be an overall candidate. Like, like I've had my fair share of experience in sports. Like I play cricket.
Hmm.
So that apart from that, I try to make sure that I participate in other cultural programs. And so it's like not just dentistry, but it's a whole things
Mm.
that come around with that. So that's my story, and that's how it started.
Hmm. Okay. And then you said you went to Manipal and then you
Mhm.
graduated. And then when did you find your way here to America?
So right towards the end of Manipal, I started looking into the TDS programs here,
Uh-huh.
and slowly, like I think that was the worst part. So which brings to my greatest struggle, because that time COVID happened and everything was
Mm.
closed,
Mm.
which shut out like a bunch of opportunities for me to go and explore. So I had like there were days where I was questioning as to what to do, when to what card to play. So That time I felt like, okay, I feel like I need to make sure that right out of college, I need to get my hands-on experience, like work on more patients, because at some
Hmm.
point that's going to be useful. That's what you're going to do. So I've been working since then, and 21 travel restrictions were there, so I couldn't make it here. So 22, it was more flexible, so I took the INBD exam and did a couple of shadowings, and I started applying, and that's how yeah, that's how I got in.
And which year did you graduate?
I graduated 2020 September.
Okay, okay, so relatively fresh
Yeah,
grad,
relatively fresh grad, yeah.
limited US experience, but you made the most of the opportunity that presented. So you still came here, try to shadow a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So I tried to make the most out of whatever
Yeah.
I had. That's why this thing.
Okay, that's good. Because, if you were going through COVID, everyone else was also going through COVID, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So, I mean, applications, I remember when we were sorting out applications around that time, had similar issues with every candidate. They want to come here, they want to shadow, get some US experience under the belt, but COVID, right?
Yeah,
COVID.
exactly.
A lot
So
of the schools had even
it was
postponed their
actually
preceptorship programs because of this. Yeah, you were saying?
exactly. Yeah, it was actually difficult because some clinics, right, because of the COVID, they didn't want to take people
Yeah,
in for shadowing as well. So that was
yeah.
also like I think for someone during that period, you had to contact more number of clinics to actually find out who are the ones who are accepting. And yeah, that was another thing.
All right. So then which state did you eventually end up coming and shadowing?
So I was in Atlanta, so I went to this clinic in
Mm,
Atlanta. Then from there, I shadowed a month in Texas, College Station.
mm, mm.
Then from there, I went to Philadelphia and I was shadowing there as well. So it's just that for me, I wanted to not just see one clinic. That's my idea. So I want to see like, at least more than one clinic so I'd get uh, an idea as to how things work here.
Mm,
And it was
mm,
not fair for me to just, draw the idea just based on one
mm,
clinic. So that's my go-to
mm.
for all the three clinics.
That's good. So were you like literally backpacking from place to place, or did you have like a
Oh, yeah.
family over there, or
So
did you know people?
I didn't have a couple of friends and family like in places, so it was like I need to thank them for hosting me and
Mm,
providing
mm,
place as well.
mm.
So yeah, I was fortunate enough to have people around.
Yeah, this is a real life struggle of immigrants coming over here. Like I still remember my
Yeah,
days as well, just coming here, going from place to place, crashing on your friend's couch, and then
yeah,
just
yeah, that's relatable.
that's pretty much how it went. We were just crashing on their couch. We're going to these clinics to shadow. We certainly don't get paid, right? You're
Yeah, exactly.
spending an outrageous amount of hours over there, and everything in the US is so expensive because
Expensive.
when you're in your own
Exactly.
country, Pakistan, India, and then when you convert that, USD to INR or USD to Pakistani
I
rupee
know.
or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
your brain does what it is doing. Like all the math, it's doing here.
Mhm.
But then, yeah, it's crazy. And that's also another thing. Like there were clinics which was like 40-minute walk, and I used to
Mm,
walk 40 minutes, come back
same.
40 minutes. So
Yeah,
because Uber
yeah,
and Lyft was pretty expensive for someone who is not
yeah,
earning.
yeah,
So I had to walk, but that's what you put
yeah,
yourself and you commit for the process.
yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It was fun.
So let me ask you this: how does it feel on the other side? Like you're there on the other side now, right?
I feel like from the day like I still have the mail of acceptance and I still go
Mm,
through it at times, because it feels unreal.
yeah,
I think the whole process like was overwhelming and I
yeah.
didn't know, like I just did my best. So the only thing I did was to put my best foot forward at every
Mm,
step. To take it
yeah,
one step at a time is what I followed.
yeah.
So to get that acceptance, I think I forgot to emote. Once I got that acceptance, I forgot how to react and everything. So that was like it was there. I mean, but now, yeah, it's a pretty crazy feeling. But yeah, that's there.
I shouldn't say this, but so many of our students get accepted, but a lot of the students are already over here. They're married and then their spouses are here. And then, yes, they have their own struggle. I'm not discounting anybody's struggles. That we all go through our own
Hmm.
struggles. But I just have mad respect for people who like have no connections to the US and they only have a dream that, you know what, I want to make it in this country. And they come here
Yeah,
and then they're like, okay, we figure it out. We just go shadow random dentist and try to build a profile and then try to get an acceptance. It's just so much of a feat to accomplish. And, just
definitely.
with that kind of learning and what you learn along the journey, you apply it to your dentistry, and then the world is yours. I mean, you can just
Exactly.
do so much. Yeah.
I think to all the people who are applying out there, and I think it's a big. I think they need to pat themselves on the back for stepping out of the
Mm,
comfort zone and going all
correct.
the way. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
for people, this thing, I think that's a pretty great step in itself. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so true. That's just so
that's
fantastic. And I think that's
yeah,
just what's special about this community of dentists. We all come together. And even this, we're just trying to help people out. Someone out
exactly,
there in some part of the world will be listening to this and will be get inspired. Be like, listen, I don't know anyone in the US. And if Guru did it, even I could do it. Perhaps
exactly.
I could go there. I can ask my friends, I can couch surf, I can do something, and then I can get accepted. Right. And I think because, I'm sure when you were just in second year or first year of dental school in Manipal, this was a dream that was insurmountable, like such a huge
Yeah,
task, right? But then as you start taking baby steps towards it, you realize it's possible, just a little bit
it's possible.
longer,
Yeah,
it's possible. So I think,
exactly. So I think
yeah,
yeah, for anyone who's looking into this, I think, if it helps, even to raise their, confidence, I think
yeah,
it helps a lot. Like
yeah.
from, saying that it's too much to actually to, transform to considering this as an option is a huge step. And I think it any way, towards their goal is going to help them.
Mm, okay, okay. So now let's speak about the elephant in the room. I do know that Pittsburgh is one of the most affordable schools. I know affordable to what, it's relative, but if you
Yeah,
compare all the other schools, Columbia, which is like almost 500,000, and all these other schools,
yeah.
definitely Pittsburgh is one of the more affordable ones. How do you plan to pay for it?
So I've actually starting to reach out to my family around here,
Hmm.
like people who are citizens and this thing to see whether they
Hmm.
could co-sign
Hmm.
because I could get a federal loan.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
not, then I feel like I'm going to get it from home. Like my
Yeah.
parents told they'll support me, so
Hmm.
that's the
Hmm.
thing right
Hmm.
now.
What's the ballpark estimate for Pittsburgh? Just a very rough estimate of tuition.
Uh, as of now, it's around 200K roughly, give or take.
Is it including room
Uh,
and board or just the tuition?
yeah, it is including the living expenses as well.
That's awesome.
Uh,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and one more thing I was happy
It's
about
just too good. Pittsburgh is just best. I was just having an interview just before you with someone who got accepted to NYU. Right.
Mhm.
NYU is a great school, but their tuition is 250 without
250. Yeah,
without room
true.
and board. Right.
Exactly.
This is
So
yeah.
this I was pretty excited because one more thing I appreciated and when I went to Pittsburgh was the public transport was also good. And coming from
It's
India,
good.
I feel like the
Yeah.
public transport is different here.
Yeah.
And yeah, in Pittsburgh, I found that the bus and the metro connectivity was good. So that was also
Uh-huh.
another plus for me personally.
Okay. Okay. And then did you interact with your fellow students who got accepted in Pittsburgh? And
Uh, I didn't have much opportunity and time to interact, but
uh-huh.
yeah, I hope so. I'll start interacting with them soon. Like it's just that
Uh-huh.
everyone's busy and they have their own thing going on with the
Yeah.
applications and paying the fees
Uh-huh.
that we
Uh-huh.
couldn't connect. And some people, I mean, there is a different time zones that people are in, so it's difficult to
Mm-hmm.
connecting people.
Mm-hmm. What time zone are you in right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in EST.
You're in EST right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you figured out your accommodation in Pittsburgh? When does your program start typically?
The program starts around first week of May 23.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have to start looking into accommodations as well. Like I just like I'm just starting the process. Like I just paid the non-refundable deposit, and so now it's like
Yeah.
slowly it goes towards searching for an
Yeah.
accommodation right now. So yeah, all
Okay.
those things will occupy the next few months for me.
What's your visa status right now?
Right now it's B1 B2.
B1, B2.
But
Okay.
then yeah, I think they will give the I-20 and everything to process the F1.
So F1, you're gonna do it from India then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are you doing it from in India? I know Mumbai right now has like a mad wait time. It's got a lot of wait time right now. My students tell me.
So
Yeah.
Uh, right. So the dream. So I'm in Chennai. So
Hmm.
Chennai has a
Chennai is
US
better.
embassy. Yeah.
Yeah, Chennai is
So
better. Yeah.
it's relatively near my house. So it's good. But then the problem is with, especially after COVID, a lot of slots are getting filled, and if you get a
Mm,
slot anywhere in India, it's a big thing. So
it's a big thing. Yeah.
that's the situation. So I need to be open to any possibility, and grab
Mhm,
the
mhm,
best.
mhm. Additionally, what you can also do is you can send them an email with your
Mm-hmm.
acceptance letter saying that you have an acceptance, you need your
Okay.
F1 visa, and then
Okay.
they're gonna give you an expedited interview slot. That's one of my students did. They got accepted into a preceptorship program,
Okay.
but it was a last minute thing. She only had like 2 months to get the visa, and the nearest availability was 2 months, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
it takes time for you to give your visa, get approved, get processed for that to come back. So she just wrote an email to the embassy, and she got a call in like 2 weeks. Like
Oh
the slot
okay.
was
That's
available. So
awesome.
that's something you should know. That's also available if
Got it. Thank you.
if you could expand that, if you could use that as well. Now
Yeah.
let's talk about your profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had US experience. You graduated in 2020. Did you have any work experience back in India?
Yeah, so right after my graduation, like within a month, I started working because I was
Mm-hmm.
particular about starting to work.
Mm,
So slowly, like I started basic procedures with like
nice.
scaling, fillings, and slowly. So one thing which I did was I missed a chunk of my experience during COVID because of COVID. I missed out like half of internship experience.
Okay.
So I was pretty upset that I couldn't do more cases.
Mm,
I went for a hands-on course for endodontics, like basic
mm-hmm.
endodontics. So
Mm-hmm.
that provided me perspective and into
Mm-hmm.
endo.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, I started taking root canal cases.
Mm,
Then slowly, I started doing a little more tougher extractions, like wisdom tooth extractions, slightly
mm,
proceeded towards mesioangular impactions. So
mm.
this is what I was particular about, like to slowly, get my hands on like over time, so that at whatever time I'm going to start my dental school, it'll be this knowledge that I
Yeah.
gain out of this experience is going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how it has been right after dental school in India.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You could even continue to work in India right now and start doing these cases because
Yeah.
just to break the bubble here, once you really go to school, you're just
Mhm.
doing fillings and crown preps,
I
a
know.
few
Yeah.
endo cases. And then when you graduate, you have this unrealistic expectations from your employers to do everything, you know.
Exactly.
So I think it's good if you have a little bit of exposure, with endo, with wisdom tooth extraction in particular, and fillings and crown preps you learn in school. Pittsburgh has a robust program, a lot
Yeah.
of patients. It's an area where you have a lot of patient pool over there.
Hmm.
So I think,
Yeah.
that should be good. How many students
Mhm.
does Pittsburgh take, and how many students did they interview?
So generally Pittsburgh takes from what I've seen in the past and from the Capit directory,
Mm-hmm.
it was 5 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this year, as far as I know, it's been 5 students.
Okay.
And around 40 to 50 people were called for the interview slash bench experience.
Those odds were
Um,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it was pretty overwhelming for me. Like I'm a fresher sitting down there, and there
Yeah.
are other people who, I mean, coming from various backgrounds, and yeah, I mean, I was just focusing on myself. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
really crazy.
Yeah, you got like people who are like oral surgeon and orthodontist, and someone with like 10 years
Yeah,
of experience, and there you are, guru, just
exactly.
graduated right now.
Yeah, I just graduated. Yeah,
Yeah, and then you still got through the finish line. Okay. I think Dr.
yeah.
Patty had your interview preparation courses, and how helpful were they? Like, did you
Uh,
was it
so
helpful to
it
break
was
ground?
yeah, so it was very helpful. Like so. Probably, for any person who's okay for an interview, he made sure that, like I put the best foot forward, like
Mm,
provided me tips where to avoid what and
yeah.
where to, emphasize on what
Mhm,
points. Oh, so this,
mhm,
this is what I've heard. I mean, I learned over the interview sessions. Like when I tell something, he's like, it's good. And the way he tells he criticizes, it's all, in a way, a constructive criticism way. So I feel like it encourages you at the same time you help. I mean, it's been like a learning process for you through.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I think earlier I was scheduled to take your interviews, but then Dr. Patty, his schedule opened up.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah,
okay.
he does a phenomenal job. And then apart from that, any tips you'd like to give to students? who were
Uh,
a lot of students right now are very similar, just graduated, limited experience. So like, what was your thought process when you were applying to schools? Did you apply to a lot of schools, or how did you handpick them?
so there are a couple of things that I wanted to advise is first, before you decide on something, make sure that you research about it.
Yeah.
Like each and every school will have information like put on the website so you can go through it, their
Yeah.
requirements, what they
Mhm.
some schools are they might hint you towards a particular this thing candidate pool that you're looking into. So all these things will be provided sometimes on the internet. So I think if they are well informed, then that will be good.
Mhm.
And apart from that, they should. This is what a mistake I did. Like to start, in the beginning of the process, I started comparing myself to someone else, and then
Yeah.
slowly throughout, I was like, okay, you focus on yourself. Like,
Yeah.
so this helped me like like, focus on myself and improve myself, and I didn't see anyone else like where they are
Mhm.
from and this thing. So that was like a big thing, especially for a fresh grad out of school. It can be
Yeah.
overwhelming. And to another thing is just to make sure that take it one step at a time, break it into steps and not uh panic like seeing the whole process, because that's
Mhm.
something that I've also learned. And yeah, and another thing I've heard, like I've been asked from people like what did you do, and this like like if you did this or that to get accepted. And frankly, I can only say that I don't know. I did my best. That's all I could say to them. But that's it's
Yeah.
like I'm not on the admissions committee to tell like for sure that this helped me, that
Yeah.
helped me. But I try to guide them saying that this is what I did, and I don't know whether that helped me. But then I made sure that I did my best in whatever I did.
No, I think what makes you stand out, Guru, is what I'm getting at. Is you're a very authentic person. I see the authenticity in you. Like you just say it out loud. What you're thinking is what you are. You don't put up a front. So I think that's
Hmm.
perhaps that's what Pittsburgh looks for. Like
Probably.
authentic. And I'm sure. And the reason why I asked you the question earlier, did you interact with your colleagues, who got accepted, is because every school has a certain type of candidate they look for. Like if you were to look for
Okay.
UCLA pool of acceptances, you'll see a distinct type of candidates they look for. NYU has a different kind of
Okay.
candidates. Michigan has a different kind of candidates, and you can quickly deduce, okay, what kind of students are they looking for, and then you can use them for the interviews. So I'll touch base with you
Okay.
once again once you meet your friends. I'll see what kind of candidates
Definitely.
do they look for, and hopefully that information could be helpful.
Definitely.
But all I'm getting at, like Pittsburgh is just about authentic individuals. Just
Okay.
be real, be true, and then just be straightforward. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Guru, thank you so much for joining us. I feel like we've learned a lot about Pittsburgh, and
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. I'm so proud of you as well. I remember when you reached out to me earlier when you just had an interview with Pittsburgh, and then it was like, and now we have an acceptance. So it's crazy, and your life has changed. Your life will never
Oh
be the
yeah.
same now. Now you're gonna go to Pittsburgh, you're gonna graduate, apply for H-1B, get a job, and then you're just here. And then yeah, it's
Yes.
very, very happy. And
I just
hopefully you
want
inspire
to
people to come here as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank the DDS project, both you and Dr. Patty.
Thank
You
you.
guys have gone all out of the way to help me, and not just me, like to other students who are seeking guidance from you. It's pretty great what you guys are doing, and I hope more students, get acceptances from you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. These words means everything to us. Thank you so much, Guru.
Thank you
All right. In
so
the
much.
meantime, tell me about the party scene in Pittsburgh later on. Okay. I want to know that.
Oh,
Hopefully I'll drop in. We'll have a beer together sometime. All right, buddy?
definitely. You're invited.
Yeah.
Open invitation.
Cool, bro. Okay. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much.